Hi, Lloyd Silver here with Cairn Marketing, where we help businesses achieve online marketing domination guaranteed. I believe that any business not proactively managing their online presence will be out of business within the next 3 years. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you the 5 biggest mistakes that I see made in the world of online marketing. And I think you're going to find this information valuable regardless of if you ever become a client of Cairn. But first, let me answer the question of why I think this is such a crucial concern for your business. I don't want to get bogged down in statistics, but I think these are so powerful and they're so important that we can't ignore them. 83% of consumers see that they use search engines when trying to find a local business. And actually 1/3 of consumers cannot even find the specific business that they're looking for. 65% do online research, but then they actually go into the store or into an office when it comes time to obtain the product or service that they're looking for. And 52% of shoppers say that they're heavily influenced by a business's online ratings and reviews. Of course, these numbers are much higher than they were just a couple of years ago, and I'm 100% confident that they'll be much higher in the next couple of years. Without a doubt, your customers, both new and existing, are researching online about the products and services that you sell before they likely even speak with you. They're actively looking for the best place to acquire that product or service using a variety of tools available on the internet. And they're reading what other people are saying about you. And that's playing a major factor in their decision on who to do business with. So if you're not actively managing what customers are reading and what they're saying about you, and if you're not actively participating in conversations about what they're looking to buy, you will simply become irrelevant. And that, without a doubt, will lead to complete business failure. I'm sorry to be so blunt about it, and I'm not trying to create some false outlook, but the trends could not be more clear. And this is all addressed and handled by us using a process that creates what we like to call online marketing domination. What do I mean by domination? It's incredibly powerful, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that I see made in the world of online marketing. And these mistakes are made not only by businesses who try to manage all of this on their own, but they're also made by many, if not most, of the professionals that work in this field. And trust me, I had to work hard to narrow this down to just 5, as there are a lot of mistakes being made. And most importantly, making these mistakes can not only result in lost revenue potential, but they can permanently impact your ability for your business to market online. First is the failure to take into consideration, before doing anything at all with your online marketing efforts, the goals and finances of the business. Now, this might seem like an obvious thing to do, but more often than not, I see businesses creating social media profiles, optimizing pages for search, using pay-per-click advertising, and not making sure that what they're doing is congruent with the needs of the business. Are you selling a service or a product? Is it one product or many? Are we talking about something that costs just a few dollars or a few $1,000s? How many new customers does the business need? How many can they handle? These are just a few questions that must be answered before doing anything at all when it comes to online marketing. And failing to do so will result in wasted dollars and lost opportunities. Next on my list is focusing on optimizing a web page so it can be found in search over optimizing it so it results in conversions, meaning more leads and more clients for the business. The only reason why we conduct online marketing, again, the only reason why we're doing this at all, is to make more money for our business. That's it. But all too often, I see professionals who are very lopsided in their thinking. They believe their role is to get you found online, and of course I think you'll agree that the goal should be to make your business more profitable. Getting you found is part of the process, but we believe that first and foremost, you must have a good user experience that gets visitors to take the action you desire, whatever action that may be. Number 3 is what we've referred to as frequency of post. You build a great website, but you fail to create any new pages. You launch a blog and it's been 2 months since your last post. You create a Facebook or a Twitter account and then you ignore them. It's pretty typical. We have very strong indications that search engines like Google are now very interested in the frequency and regularity of content being created. They believe that those people who are actively engaged in conversation are more worthy and perhaps more trustworthy of having their content show up in search results. Our testing has shown that we can get great results with our initial work, but if we just let a site sit around with nothing added to it, it will slowly drop in rankings and eventually fall to where nobody will see it at all. So create new content, add blog posts, add updates in Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and Facebook. Engage in conversations with your customers. And not only are you going to get this new content found online, but it supports everything else that you've done up until that point. Everything builds off one another. Now, managing all this can be very time consuming, but of course we have a very special way of making this process easy and can even create content on your behalf. But let's get to the fourth biggest mistake, which is underestimating the importance of social media and what is known as social proof. I know that social media is all the rage, but I often see a disconnect between various social media platforms and the underlying website, blog, and business that these platforms should be supporting. We have conclusive proof that Google takes into consideration social proof in its search ranking algorithm. By social proof, I mean how many people are engaged with you online? How many fans and followers do you have? How many people are commenting on your content? Are they sharing this information with others? Are they watching the videos that you produce? So you're not only benefiting from your initial visitors, and you're not only benefiting from those that they share that content with, but you're benefiting from these underlying social signals by having your content displayed higher and more prominently in search than people that have less social proof. The more people who like you, the more people who are talking about you, the more people will actually see your content and the more business you will earn. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is not recognizing the coming of the semantic web. Now, it's quite likely that you've never even heard of what I just said, the semantic web. So why is this what I consider the biggest mistake I see people making right now when you probably haven't even heard about it at all? Let's do a very, very brief history. We can go back just a few years to the late 80s and see what's referred to now as Web 1.0. This is when we started seeing explosive growth in people using the internet. Think AOL as an example, or CompuServe. Most people using the internet simply logged on to something like AOL and they got whatever information they could find just on that site. And as more people got online, we started seeing an increasing number of websites, and we eventually had what was coined in 1999 as Web 2.0. What we saw was more interaction and collaboration between websites and users. Social networking took form. Blogs were created. YouTube was launched. These were all online mediums that not only distributed information, but allowed for visitors to converse and engage. And now that's evolving even further into the semantic web. So not only are visitors connected to each other and to the properties on the internet, but those properties, those websites, social media platforms, blogs, wikis, and everything else are being connected to one another as well. And it's quickly transforming the way people will find you and communicate with you online. In fact, the experts we've spoken with have predicted that the semantic web will be more important than search engine optimization within the next 18 to 24 months. So that means what you are doing today might in fact be obsolete, or at the very least minimally important, in just a couple of years. And of course, we take all this into consideration, and we're implementing semantic web strategies along with everything else that we do so we can benefit our clients not only today, but going forward for the long term. Now, you still probably don't have a good idea of what the semantic web means, so let me give you a simple example that's relevant to every business in the world. This is the contact page of our website. And on this page, we have our address. Now, I know it's an address, and you know it's an address, and you can probably infer that it's the address of Cairn Marketing. But search engines and websites, they have no clue that this is an address, nor do they have any idea what this is associated with in terms of the business. They might see it says Walnut Creek, and they know it has something to do with that city, but not much else. Enter what's called schema, one of the underlying technologies that are enabling the semantic web and something that we use extensively. Here's the source code of our contact page, and I know this might be a little intimidating to some people. So this is actually the page that we were just viewing, the contact page, and what it would look like to a search engine. It's the underlying HTML behind it. And actually what's displayed is not the entire source code for the page. This is just the part dealing with our address. At the bottom, you can see the address information that you just saw on our website. But above is all the code that we've created in a special format that tells Google and other search engines and other sites that this is actually the address for Cairn Marketing and specifically what that address is. And we can view this information using a Google tool and confirm that they're reading it as we intend. This screen shows additional markup I've added, like connecting this page with my personal Google Plus account, so my photo comes up, which certainly draws attention and results in more clicks. And if you haven't had this installed on your website, it's something that we can help you with. But if we go down to the bottom, we can see the address information as Google sees it. All over here. This is exactly what we put into our page in the source code. And now Google actually understands that this is a physical address and it's associated with Cairn Marketing. Very, very important. If you're a local business, do you not think it's absolutely critical that Google, other search engines, and other sites actually know truly what your physical address is, so that it might share that information with people who are looking for you and the products and services that you sell in your area? And this is just one piece of schema in the semantic web. We create schema for products and services, events, multiple locations, videos, and a whole lot more. It's becoming very, very, very important. It's all about providing data in a structured format so that this data can be shared not only with the online properties you intend to share them with, but eventually with the entire World Wide Web. Few people understand this, despite it being incredibly advantageous today, and this is absolutely critical down the road. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes that I see made in online marketing. We don't make those mistakes. Instead, what we do is help businesses achieve online marketing domination. We combine search engine optimization, social media marketing, website design, reputation management, video marketing, local optimization and schematics, content creation, and we apply our super secret methodology so that our clients not only get page 1 rankings and not just top rankings on that page, but complete online domination. Our clients usually are not listed just once on a page. They've got multiple listings on that page. We're trying to shut down the competitors so that when your potential customers are searching for you, they find you, and it's tough for them to find anybody else. Now, if you don't feel like you might need all of this offering, that's fine. Give us a call. We can discuss it and see if we can work from whatever starting point you might be at. If you're not already on our site, please visit us at www.cairnmarketing.com. If you're on our site, please click on one of the contact buttons, or you can simply call us at 925-394-4400. We'd be happy to talk about your situation, your goals and objectives, and see if we can help you achieve online marketing domination for your business. I'm Lloyd Silver of Cairn Marketing, and I thank you for your time.